Today on the Blackout Build channel, that's what we're gonna start. I need to buy a lens so I don't have to sit down to do an intro. We're gonna play with the 9 horsepower Johnson. It's a 15 horsepower. I'll explain why in a second. Let me give you some background right after this intro. Sorry, I'm so corny. Anyway, this is a 9.9. According to the hood, could be a different hood. Actually, that's what it is. But he dropped this off for me to repair for a fun side project because it already ran fine. That's obviously the wrong hood. It's a 15 horsepower because of the badge on the side. You can't tell. Usually, there's a water freeze plug. This guy here, but it's got. But I believe this guy here, I believe that to be an aftermarket Powerhead because it's got the Evinrude Marine Johnson whatever logo and then just a weird set of numbers 6454560. The actual model number is J15TELEEA, which I believe to stand for Johnson 15 horsepower tiller, T for tiller, E for electric, L for long shaft, and then EEA would be the code for the year and the color and where it was made or something of that nature. So, what's with this motor? It smokes and runs warm, and then at the bottom is some sort of smoky mixture. I don't know if it's unburnt fuel, exhaust gas, or what. I sprayed carb cleaner at the bottom while it was running. Didn't change the tune of the motor. So what I really think is happening is I think the lower crank is bad. The lower crank seal is bad. But usually if it was bad, it would spray the spray and it would change the tune of the motor. But something underneath the Powerhead I believe to be not sealing right. But because it runs so good and it is for someone else, I think we're just going to leave that be for now because it would be costly to repair it. Well, for me, the parts would be cheap, but I'd have to pull the Powerhead and take me time. It's obviously a 15 horsepower because of the badge, but if you want to look through the carburetor, the 9.9s had a real, you're not going to be able to see this with the shift handle in the way. The 9.9s had a real tiny throat diameter, and the 15s did not. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see that. Anyway, if you look inside your carburetor, it's hard to compare the pictures, but the very end, all the way here, you'll see the beveled, no, I'm not doing y'all any favors here. You'll see the beveled, inside throat, and the 9.9s it went in deep, and then the 15s is just a very small little hump, leading for more air, more fuel, 15 horsepower. I'm going to assume the bottom has the proper exhaust tubing for an actual 15. In any case, cute little motor. It's got that forward shift everybody absolutely loves and wants and desires. It's a long shaft that would go great on my boat, especially with the 9.9 hood. A lot of the places here, 10 horsepower is the max. Who knows? Maybe I'll fix it and buy it off him. I don't think he wants to sell it. Anyway. All right, so what's wrong? So it's running, it's pumping water. It's smoking weirdly at the bottom. And it doesn't pump water efficiently. It steps when it's at a low idle, like a crawl. A lot of people like to troll with these motors. It doesn't pump water at all, and it will get hot. So what I did was I put a new water pump in it. Same result. An OEM pump, so I know it's not the pump. But the thermostat housing was bone dry. Inside here, it was all crusty, bone dry. The thermostat looks okay. There's the thermostat here. Thermostat is here. I don't think it's stuck, but it is, I don't know, it's rough. So I got a new thermostat. And I started up and ran it just to make sure the passages were clear. Water did come out the bottom here. So I know water is pumping up through here. I'm going to put the new thermostat in. Hopefully that cures it up. Now the housing has a rubber seal here. I'm not going to go online and buy a new one. I just don't feel like it, so I'm going to use this high temp red silicone maker for that. I have the new little housing they got in here. Thermostat goes in like that. Spring on the outside goes like that. Then I got these two little thingaringers. They go, that's not right, I forget how this goes. This goes in like that, and this ring is for this part. So when you put the spring-loaded face on it, it's gonna go like that and seal. Okay. I just gotta get my gasket maker to put that on. All right, it's a busy day in South Plainfield. You might hear a lot of lawnmowers and my cooler and everything going off. So anyway, let's show you how the 98 the 98 runs. Watch the water in particular. Come on. Oh, jeez Louise. Massive blockage. And there you go. So thermostat is in. What we're gonna do now is start it up once that cures and see if it pumps water the same. Worst case scenario is we're gonna throw it on the water and just keep the idle high-ish, because at a high idle the water pump works great. Starts right up. She's pumping. You can see up the smoke. Now watch as she lowers an idle. What happens to the stream? Actually pumps better when it's like kind of cold. See, it's like intermittent off, on, off. But I mean, runs like it's hot. Nice low idle. It's still pumping right now, but as it gets warmer, it'll literally stop. As it slows down in idle. See? Nothing. So if you trolled with this motor, you're gonna overheat. But it's still spurting. Now I got a new thermostat in it now. So I know that should be opening up. Idle is a bit funky. Speeds up, slows down. If you pay attention to the midsection too, you'll see smoke coming. Like a different type of smoke than the actual oil burning in the gas fuel mixture. It's actually doing pretty well. I mean, yeah, it's intermittent, but it's still pumping. Still pumping good in my opinion. Tell you what, the burning smoke in the middle is not. Oh, there it goes. It took a while. Not 2 strokes. It's a lot less with that new thermostat. It might have been maybe the thermostat being stuck closed, forcing exhaust gases in other locations. Yeah, you can still see it. It's coming. Might be on the It's a lot less. It's there, but it's a lot less. Make that thermostat help. But it runs like a top. I mean, it's beautiful. The only thing I haven't done yet is added the electric start to it because it's got a funky connector I'm not used to. This connector. And I think they want $100 on eBay for a new one. See what the owner would like to do. We can get in closer to this smoking issue I'm having. All 2 strokes, but it's not really doing it. I mean, if you look, it's hard for you guys to see on camera, but still barely in the frame. Okay, so I was thinking about taking the lower unit back off to check the water pump to see if it's that. I don't know. I put a new impeller in it. It should be pumping fine. I don't trust impellers these days, even though OEM ones are not doing well. So I really don't think this water issues is stemming from the water pump. So instead of taking the lower unit back off, redoing another water pump, putting it back together, I'm popping a Powerhead. I want to see what's underneath this thing. The exhaust plate has a bunch of blue goop. So someone's been in here, and I know for a fact they have, because you got to take this cover off. This is I think it's a 99. 98. Yeah, the newer tags are really nice. They put the year on it. So this is a 98.99, but it is a 15. We did confirm. I think the hood is wrong. The 99 hood, definitely 15. I checked the carburetor already. It peed like crap before. I put a new impeller. It peed the same. I really do think there's a lower grommet obstruction, or worst case scenario, if there's a little salt action in here. I'll explain in a minute why. This blue goop on the side is telling me someone's been in here, and this. On the 98, you got to pop this cover off, which sits, kind of covers everything. A couple hex bolts, 20s, 25s, and then there's one more, which I didn't even know of, on the inside of this guy. It's right here, and you really can't see it when it's on the motor. So I don't even know if you can get a wrench on there, but you are able to spread it apart and pull it without getting it off, and that's the method we went with. So I took apart the lower. The head bolts, which are Torx as well, but a higher Torx 30. What am I at, 27? T30. T30 Torx bolts underneath. All hand tight. Not hand tight, but except for the last one. Which I thought for sure I was going to be dealing with another broken head bolt. And I was about to absolutely lose my mind. So look at it. I mean, white as it goes. Here's the other ones. Oh, I didn't take any head bolts out yet, but they all cracked with a very light crack. And even that cover plate, super, super loose, and just white, salt, nasty corrosion. I thought for sure it broke this one. I hate to say thank you, outboard gods, because at this point I think there's a higher power that really just hates me. In any case, so we're going to do the other 6. I've never taken a Powerhead of this nature off before. Apologize if I'm talking very fast. I'm trying to get a lot of work done today. But we got this guy, my corroded guy here with the ground cable attached. This one, what is that? Got a couple plate bolts, not related to the Powerhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the other side, and we'll see if this Powerhead comes off. All right, I'm starting to think I should do a YouTube channel on just how to remove Powerheads. When's the last time y'all saw forward shifting 15 horsepower Powerhead removal? You can search. I haven't seen one yet. YouTube's full of everything, but this one. Not that it's actually easier than the lower profile 15. A couple nuances I'm trying to figure out. I took the pull start off, didn't really have to, but there's the cable that goes through it, so it was easier to get that out of the way by taking off the pull start. And then, so the 6 bolts, that's pretty straightforward. I took the choke out of the housing here by just removing the rubber piece. Okay, then the tricky part is these cables from the throttle and your kill switch. Now, a couple power leads. This was just from the battery. This didn't have to come off, but it was attached to the power lead that does have to come off. So you take this power lead off, and then there's another power lead to the starter. That's got to come off. And then I traced, it looks like my kill wire from the throttle. It goes up and around and hooks into this plug here. No way to disconnect it unless you de-pin the connector. So I hate to do it, but we gotta cut it. Cutting and splicing. Hopefully there's only one wire in here. Uh-oh, there's 2. All right, 2 wires maybe because there's 2 cylinders, but we're gonna cut and splice both of them anyway. So now that this is out of the way, these are out of the way, and this is out of the way, just pull these right on out. I believe the Powerhead can now pull straight up, but now I'm thinking no. Oh yeah, okay, so there's also a shift. This shift rod goes in to a lever, and it looks like the shift rod's gonna pull right out with the bottom, so you're gonna have to get the cotter pin out of there and pull this guy out of the way, or at least, yeah, that should be fine. It might catch on the way up. We'll deal with that when we cross it. So let's see if I can get it up and out now. Always kick your tripod on your way past the camera. It's done fine. Or two. It's a shift rod. Now, I didn't want to do this. You don't want to bend. Just spin on me. Stay straight. It's not this thing, is it? It is this thing. You little rat. You little rat. That thing that got caught up in there. You son of a gun. What was that thing? Bend some stuff I'm not a fan of. Won't get out of your way. See, then it's this rod's in the way. There we go. This is just the rod to the no start mechanism safety thing. I didn't take it out because I didn't need to. Now it should pop up and out of the way. At least you'd like to think so. Okay, I have no idea how that's gonna go back in straight, but she's out. She's gonna go upside down. And I have a few thoughts. This is what we're here for. We're here to check that grommet because this thing was not cooling right. And the other thing is, once these grommets, if they check okay, they almost look new. They don't look swelled up at all. If they are new, we got to pull the head off to see if there's passage blockage there. And then I really don't want to, but this goop scares me, so we might pull this plate off. If someone was in here already, maybe the bolts just come off, and then we'll get a proper gasket on that. That's the plan for the 15 horsepower. All right, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's see if we pulled the power head for no reason, which it's not no reason, because I have a feeling that head's gonna have to come off. Definitely that plate. All these bolts came out super sweet. Look at this crusty, dusty, salty mofo. Look at this. Look at this punk. Look at this little punk. I mean, how did that not snap? Did I get lucky for once? Shh. Watch the Bundy curse now. Bundy curse is a thing. I mean, just salt in the one bolt. How does that happen? It's crazy. Anyway. Let's see what those grommets look like. Tell me I was right. Come on, YouTube. Tell me I was right. I was wrong again, wasn't I? You son of a punk. Alright, so what we're looking for, obviously, is the grommet collapsed into the hole. Doesn't look like it. Looks like a solid grommet, but swelling on this side? Maybe not a great seal. The exhaust side looks perfectly fine. What's the power head look like? I'll tell you what, let's pop off the seal too while we're right here. Zip, zip, zip. Power television. Zip, zip, zip. Alright. Now, I don't know by looking... Oh, well, that's good focus there. I don't know by looking at the seal if you can tell if it's bad or not. I'm seeing a lot of outside... Oh, this might be that double seal, too. This one, see how we got the outside rim facing in, and then the spring is facing in. There might be one on the inside the other way around. I know the newer years did double seals, so... But I see a lot of oil on the outside. I'm thinking this might have been an issue. We're going to put new seals in it and find out for sure. Let's bring you in to the power head. Oil here. What's that about? Could be normal. Now, I do see something. I see salt. I see boogers. Who sees it? See it? That's where the water tube grommet is normally closed up and sealed in there. Outside's clear. A lot of boogering. So I'm hoping this plate here has boogering as well. And I mean, I'm not hoping for it, but at this point now I have to take the head off because it was not pumping water clearly. We have a clear channel. The exhaust tube was not plugged up, and it was cooling. It's just weak. We have to follow all of those cooling channels to find out where the plug is. I can throw compressed air in here. I did get water out the thermostat cover. Hopefully I posted that. So we got water going through the power head out the thermostat cover, but not going down. So it might not be going through the channels. I want to replace this plate to get a gasket on there. That blue stuff freaks me out. So we're going to start there. I don't know if you guys remember me saying I never take the exhaust plates off because they always strip. But being that the blue goo was in there, like butter. It's amazing. If you know someone's been in there before, it almost entices you to keep going. I think that's just a plug. You know what I like about working outside too is you guys can see me working. I can put the camera on the other side. Downstairs, I gotta play around with it. Anyway, how am I gonna remember these bolts? I don't bag and tag nothing. We just pray and spray. Spray and pray. Call of Duty terms. Hopefully they're all the same size. Oh, they're not. Oh, simmer down, simmer down. They're not the same size. Oh, you little rat bastard. These two are the same. Bottom, pretty long. Oh, no, they're the same. Am I crazy? No, they're the same. I just panicked. Same size. Everybody relax. Simmer down. Donna Summers, relax. I don't know if this holds it down or not. We're going to pull it out. This is the throttle something or other cable. This is a special guy. Now that I have it on video, I know where it goes. That's a lot of goop. I don't want to break this tab off. I'm like, I just hit the tab. Come right off. Nope. I'll break the tab before I do anything else. You guys know where we're coming from. Should we get this off? Come on, outboard tinkerer. Scream at me. Tell me what to do. Simmer down. There's a lot of goop in there. Here's why I'm the worst at this. I use the power pack as a wedge, used a nipple that needs to stay uncleaned, and I tapped on the screwdriver to boop, 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 boop. Do not do what I do, people. Come on. You should know this by now. Oh, we got a gasket too. I think this is the first time I've ever had an exhaust plate off. So, good news, bad news time. The goop is goop in this hole. So what he did was he gooped both sides, and maybe the goop got into some of the channels, because that looks like a channel here. That's a channel, restricted, definitely restricted. Come on, baby, tell me I'm right. I mean, we won't know until we clean all this up and blow some. Maybe we can keep the head on. Oh God, what do we do? What do we do? Comment below. What do we do? Go for the head, just leave it. We put everything back together and then take the head off later. Doesn't sound right. Okay, so people are probably yelling at me too because I don't know shit about this. So I'm assuming this is a water passage. This just might be exhaust passages. I don't know. But check this. Check this. Let me get you guys really good here. Right here. That's a major restriction. Watch what happens when we pull this off. Look at the hole. Look at the hole. Come on, guys. This is plugging it. That's got to be it. All right. Comment below. Does water go through this? Well, I know how to find out. I know how to find out. Okay, the more goo we pull off, the more holes were. And this was like this. I'm not lying. This was like this. I pulled it out. So this was plugged. This is plugged. Look at this. That's a channel for something. Come on, it has to be. Right? Water flow. It's an exhaust cover, right? Am I getting this right? Is this even an exhaust cover? Y'all are laughing. Like, this guy knows nothing. It's gotta be water flow. Don't go in. Come on out. The blue goop. Oh man, if this is the reason the motor wasn't working. Oh baby. Cooking with gas. Here. Now, look, I just pulled it out. Another hole. Another hole just got unplugged. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, major, 5, 6. Y'all tell me, just watch this right here. Boom, boom. I can see it. I can see it right there. Right there. And I'll bet you frickin' money. Come on, bitch. Why do I keep cursing? Cut that out, Bill. Oh, and it's plugged. I bet you any money that the new gasket has hole provisions for that. You guys can't see what I'm doing. I bet you the new gasket has hole provisions for that. And look, I got pluggage. I can't even get that out. I'm gonna get my pick. I'm telling you, if water flows through those channels, we found it. Okay, a lot of yous were probably screaming, take the head off. I was gonna wait till the response. I got impatient. I wanted to see it, so we pulled the head. Against my better judgment, camera went off. No, it didn't. Sweet. My suspicions were wrong. But this is good. This is a good thing. Some salt deposits in the head here. Carbon typical. This hole is fine, so water was getting to this point where the thermostat cover is. Can we see that? We can see that. Sweet. Good shot, Bill. So water's cooling the jackets in the head. But I think certain exhaust packages were... certain exhaust passages were being clogged up. So now that I took the head off unnecessarily, we'll check the head for flatness. Hopefully this head gasket comes off in one piece. We get a brand new head gasket, which, whoop, whoop, whoop. Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. We found it. We found another issue. We got blockages, people. We got blockages. Yes, little blockage. Theoretically, water was coming here, probably cooling this top cylinder, maybe squeezing the bottom cylinder a little bit. The cylinders look excellent. They look like they've been cross-hatched recently. I think this head is new. I think it's an aftermarket head. You guys gotta see this. But there's a huge blockage here. Can you all see that? Please give me 2 more seconds, battery. 2 more seconds. Look at this. Well, there's the gas. Oh no. Am I wrong? Am I wrong again? No. What do you guys think? What is this? Is that supposed to be there? It's a hole. Oh, is it a blown head gasket? I think that's what it is. You guys tell me. I think that's what it is. See how all this isn't intact? Please tell me I'm showing what I want to show. Ish. This is all intact. Intact. You got a channel here. Now you got this, right? So water flows in, cools the sides of the cylinders, comes back out. See, I thought maybe this was a way out to cool the outside of this. Now I don't know. So you guys can definitely help me out here, because here's an out here. So what do we got? We got a blown head gasket? Was that the problem since day one? Air, water not going where it's supposed to go? Let me know in the comments. I'm glad I pulled this head now because of this. I thought this was supposed to be cleared out. So I'm about to do this. It's okay, I can break the head gasket now. I already did the damage. I was gonna do this, but I mean, this is rough. I mean, you think maybe this ring is supposed to be gone. You know, protect the head to let the water flow through, but water's supposed to stay in the cylinder here, so. I don't know. I think we got a blown head gasket. Now we definitely got to check for smoothness on the head here, but super happy. All the bolts came out. Let's order up an exhaust plate gasket, a head gasket, check for straightness, put it back together. Let's get a win. Let's get a win. We are 0 for like 10 this week. All right, one last thing, because I forgot. I was looking at my parts diagram. This comes off. Pried that off. Okay, this doesn't look so bad, but still had to come off because I wanted to replace the gasket underneath it. We're gonna order all new gaskets. This part looks pretty good. Again, I expected a lot of salt stuck in here, but I really think the blue goop and the blown head gasket was our cooling issue. So we're gonna get some parts. Look at the power pack, all cracked. Oh, look at this cross hatching. Can you see that? Please tell me y'all can see this. Cross hatching in the cylinder. This was a replacement Powerhead. I'm telling you. Or it's got low hours. It could be anything. It looks awesome. Put this thing back together. Get it on the water. All right, new gaskets in, confirmed. We have a head gasket blowout. How cool is that? We actually diagnosed something and was right. So here's where she blew. You put this thing on the water, it was pumping water, it definitely would have overheated. So we got this all cleaned up, waiting on new gaskets here. New head gasket is in. You can clearly see that hole is not supposed to be there. The top one is, obviously, for water flow, but we had a blowout in the head gasket, an overheat, or something of whatever nature. It even left a little mark here. We gotta clean that up. New head gasket, new gaskets, put it back on, should pump water. We'll see what we get. Installed, installed, installed. So now we're just gonna rest the power head up on where it's gotta go so we can get the heck out of here. It's gonna rain tonight. So this motor's tricky. You gotta get the shift rod out of the way while the shifter goes in this hole, comes out the bottom, and everything rests flat here. I don't think it's gonna happen, but we're gonna try. That corrosion from that one bolt we gotta clean up. Now the trick, I tested this before because I wanted to see how it was gonna fit, but now that the gasket's there, we gotta be super careful. Okay. And the exhaust tube was not in place. So put this in here. And the rubber piece moved. You are a son of a gun. Okay. This rubber piece looks like it has grooves. First time ever doing this on this motor, boys and girls, so please bear with me. I know I'm not good in general, but find it, send me the link, comment below. Find me the YouTube video that shows how to remove the power head on this forward shift mechanism. I can't find it, unless they mislabeled the title. Not mislabeled, but you know, some people just don't title anything, or don't want to. Easy, just go in the hole. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Uh-oh, we missed the water tube. See this? The water tube's gotta go in here. Fugoli. That's tricky. What is wrong with you? Why are you not going in? Thank you. God. Of course I got the... Didn't want to do that. Resting it. Get the fugoli out of here. The random power lead that doesn't even work. Don't break the water tube. Okay, there we go. So it's just very tight to the power head. Now we gotta get this shifter in the front out of the way. So it wants to be in the way. And then the exhaust power water tube's got to come out the back. A little hole provision, and now it's going to slide down. Watch the gasket. Okay. I really wish I could have showed you the hole. You'll see it. That back tube, hole, the front tube squeezes tight, it'll slide down. Now, here's what else we got to check. We're good. The other thing I'm looking for is that shift rod has to go. You'll see a little gap here. The shift rod's got to go through this part and through this part to come out the bottom. We still got a gap, so we just have to feed it through. Ease it on down. Another inch. That's what it was. Now, if I look down here, my shift rod should be poking through. It is. It's too far up, but we can fix that by pushing down. And we're going to shift into what I believe is forward. Actually, you know what we'll do is we'll pop, for now, we'll pop the shifter mechanism into the hole where it belongs so that we can in your home. There's Sarah. Okay, so it's in. I need to get a cotter pin in the hole there. This little rubber grommet's going to come forward. We'll work with that later, but I want it forward so that the shift rod is down so I can install the lower unit. Okay, beautiful. And now this is tight. I can put my cotter pin in there. Shift rod peeking out so I can install the lower unit. Now we just have to install our lower unit bolts, lower unit head bolts. Head bolts. Wow, nothing is correct. Nothing is correct. We got to install our power head bolts. Good job, Bill. And then we're going to put on our exhaust plate. For now, we're not touching a thing because we got to go. We got parties to go to. It's Sunday. But I wanted the power head on so that I could do this. It's going to rain tonight. Put the cover on backwards so that no water goes in the carburetor. Any water that goes through the pull cord will run out of the back. Okay, next steps. Exhaust plate. Just waiting on that gasket. Then lower unit. All right, we cleaned up all the bottom of the head bolts because that one was super salty. And we are prepared with base head gasket in place. And I'm gonna be, for probably very rarely, putting the anti-seize on the bolts. I do not want these bolts getting stuck. The next guy's gonna love me. Wise men once said, cross-threading's like nature's Loctite. Perfectly smooth. Can't remember the last time I had a gasket this well aligned. And this stuff is called Loctite Quick Stick. Silver grade anti-seize. I don't know what that means. Silver grade. It's a stick. It's like a glue stick. There we go. Right. Come on, out of the bolt. Back. Back. Front. And now I'll go grab. Quick online search. We'll do it right. Do it once, do it right. Okay, quick Google search revealed anywhere from 14 to 17 pounds. So we'll run with the 17, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it feels like it's right. Alright, so it says 17. You know, with the torque bit and the extension, you're losing accuracy with these things. This wrench has never failed me. I'm not about to be snapping bolts off into heads right now. So we're gonna leave it. They're tight. They're tight. They're Russian tight. Good German? Why are you guys looking at my chest? Russian tight. Guten tight? Is that the joke? Guten tight. Go watch another video. Alright, so we got everything cleaned up nice. Plates, gaskets. There's an exhaust thing that goes here I gotta go get. New gaskets are in, not cleaned up, they're in. This Midwest Marine, I don't know when you guys order your gaskets. Sometimes you get these real flimsy ones. I got some real solid guys here for a good price. Give them a little plug. Thanks for good quality stuff. So let's put the gaskets on, put this plate on. Then we can kind of put things a little bit back together. Get the lower unit up. Let's test her in the barrel, see if we're cooking with gas here. Okay, you guys don't really need to know how to put pieces and gaskets back together, but ow, this thing's been sitting in the sun. Again, New Jersey, ridiculous hot, unbearable heat this week. It's hard to do anything, but I'm trying to plug away. Gasket. Use this stuff at your own risk. Manuals sometimes call for it. Brandon's Garage uses it all the time. I bought it, they discontinued it.
People are now switching over to this aviation gasket stuff, which I also have. That stuff feels like more of a sealer to me, so I don't want to... I'm hesitant to use that stuff when it's a sealing compound. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to do it. Again, this isn't a how-to, so you guys do what you want to do. Let me just coat the gasket in this goop, which is kind of sticking to the bottom. The brush they make isn't long enough. Come on, man. Yeah. Blech. I mean, it's gross. Grosser than gross. And this isn't like the blue RTV that we just cleared out of the channels and everything. This is just a thin layer of protective something or other that'll probably help with the gasket itself, maybe make it last longer. I don't even know, but Evan Rude makes it, so you know. And I'm gonna skip all this stuff. You don't need to see this. I'm just coating it and putting it on. I believe it can only go one way. The holes are all matching up, so we know we're good there. Maybe it'll definitely help it stick. Right, loop. Don't fall. It's gonna fall. So I got to somehow hold that, coat the other gasket, and put the plate on all at the same time. Maybe they'll stay. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I got to go see an allergist because I don't know if it's the extreme heat in New Jersey or, you know, my kids ride the quad, they're kicking the gas up. I started wearing I started wearing a mask when I do the lawn, and it's allowed me to not suffer for 6 days straight. And I'm sorry for the sniffling. I clearly have some sort of issue. My hay fever is just out of control right now. It is. All right, now let's get our holes lined up and our bolts in. You can even put that gasket sealing compound on your bolts for a little bit of an anti-seize component. Or you can just put anti-seize. Bill's mechanic tip of the day for this motor. This throttle was confusing me. I was wrapping it around the other side here. It goes under the carb, under the linkage this way. I tried to force it in, and one of the grandmas always said, if you're forcing something, you're doing it wrong. So, didn't break anything, thank God. And now I can see that it fits in this hole like this very easily. And pivots like this. Well, you know, as the cables going in and out. Quick update, working as fast as possibly. It is so hot in New Jersey, I gotta go inside, take breaks every 10 minutes because the sweat's dripping down my head, nobody cares. So the throttle is routed and hooked up, good to go here. Powerhead base bolts are in. I'm currently trying to put the starter back together. I don't think the screw was ever here, so I'm trying to find a screw for that. Upper half is done, barring I'm missing a fuel hose. And then we can start getting the lower unit on. I'm just working on the connector for the lower unit. It was stripped out and not right. So let me get that going. We'll get this lower unit on, get this thing to fire up. All right, so here's the connector. And I used a lot of the OMC bolts are this size. I think it's like there it is, 1/4 20. So I just basically, you know, one side's threaded, one side's not, so make sure you remember that. So when I install it, I have a million 1/4 20 bolts. You know, some new owner's gonna go, oh wow, these bolts are different, what's going on? This is gonna be a little bit bigger of a bolt. The stock 3/8 brass bolt will no longer fit in this, so I'll just find a stainless steel guy. No rust, no worries, no problems. All right, after what had to be 2 hours of messing with the linkage, I got 3 of them. Found a third one in my parts bin. All of them all messed up. Just stripped, threaded, 10mm bolts in them. It's just something ain't right. So finally getting the lower unit back together, just cleaning up the bolts, installing the lower unit. We're trying to scoot this along so we can see this thing run and see if our water's flowing like it should. I tried to hook up this bottom pan cover for now, only because I need my fuel inlet, my water outlet, and I just gotta see if I can get the pull starter hooked up here. Working on a possible electric start solution because I didn't want to pay $150 for the bracket cable. which it does have the ends on it. We're gonna make it a little simpler. Anyway, first startup, since being torn apart, head gasket, side plate. She never had a problem running. So if it doesn't run, then I screwed something up. If it does run and still has a cooling issue, then our repairs were for naught. I have high hopes for this one. A little leftover blue goo, but it has all been cleaned out. Y'all saw it. Throttle's working, everything's hooked up. Let us get a pull start on this and see if she runs. Let's see what happens. And we finally upped our game here. I only wish I tested the temperature before I took it apart, because it was running hot. It was peeing, but running hot. I'm standing by that. Now, kill switch is on. Grounds are connected. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. 3 to get ready. Please God, outboard gods, help this idiot go. All right, choke. Unchoked. There's smoke coming from sections already. I don't like that. Still, exhaust gas is coming from somewhere. I don't know where. I like this water issue. Still the same. It's intermittent. And then stops at a slow idle. You gotta be kidding me. I got like 2 weeks of work into this stupid thing. Look, it stopped pumping. That's nutty. Oh, now I got a water leak still. Leaking at the bottom of the Powerhead. I have a bad seal there. I tried, man. Look, leaking up here. Seeping out of this. This is all brand new gasketry. All tightened to spec. I was playing with it before and I noticed I got a lot of soft spots like here. You know, this paint is rubber, it's flaky. The head doesn't look miscolored. Somebody screwed this Powerhead up. That's the only thing I can think of, because now I'm having extra issues with it. I'll tighten this one up, see if I can stop that. That's just weird. That's loose. I tighten these all. Tight, tight. This one I couldn't get on right, but I did tighten it. Tight. Why is this one loose? Didn't strip it. I know I didn't strip it. I'm not stripping it. I'm gonna strip it. That solves that issue. I'll recheck the Powerhead bolts. That's not the reason why it's not pumping water right. It's not the reason. This water tube is falling down because I can't get this thing. It's supposed to stay. It keeps falling down. Ridiculous. Alright, so maybe not. Maybe this isn't warped. That was loose. Shouldn't have been loose. I tightened it all good. Check and recheck, I guess. I don't know. The lower the idle, the less water comes out. You just can't see that. It's super hot coming out too. Well, that helps with up top. Just kind of mess with the low idle a little bit. Water's hitting the cylinder. Missing. problem. I need a fan. Like 290 degrees at the head. It's too hot. Ow! And the water coming out of it is scalding. Probably out of battery power. Not yet. Yeah, something ain't right. I mean, it just runs great. Just it's overheating. Yeah. I'll even shut it off. Yeah, it's. I should have shut it down way before that. Running hot. There you go, boys and girls. I've literally done everything I could. Want to know if your outboard's overheating? Put water on it. Ah, but the water's flowing through the P-tube. That means everything, right? Nope. No grommets are being obstructed. Clear channels through the exhaust. It's just a joke at this point. It's just a joke. Everything torqued, sequenced properly. Proper specs, you name it. She is overheating. Everywhere on the head. So, somewhere, we cleaned out every passageway. We could have had that damn Powerhead off the thing. It's nutty. The thing runs perfectly with the exception of the water won't go through the passages right. Oh man, I'm not even going to post half this video. It's too much of a rant. I'm trying to keep everything positive and light, and frustration sets in when you put in this much work for no freaking outcome. You guys saw it. I showed you the blown out head gasket. I showed you the goop in all the passageways. And it just, water's not going where it's supposed to. But it's going in and out the exhaust. All right, let's try to keep this light now. Let's try to think of something, all right? Water's going in through the Powerhead. It's coming out the pee hole, so we know it's channeling its way through the exhaust passages now. So we know this channel is clear. But the water goes into the Powerhead supposed to go through the cylinder wall, so there must be a blockage in the power head itself. It's got to be salt or something. Let me try something. Still with me? Yep, got about 2 seconds. What is that? Watch where water spurts out of this guy. Not doing it now. Okay, it's on the other side. I can't see it. I'm looking. Coming out the very front. See, there's a hole or something in there. Come right out the front of that. Right, I'm just gonna start it up and see if that did anything. Probably you guys won't see this because it'll probably die in the battery. I'm done for the night because I'm gonna have to pull this power head again. Tell by the water's coming out of the water coming out of the outlet tube is just scalding. So that didn't do shit. Okay. I don't know. I'm lost. Power's got to come back off, and then I mean obviously water's going up into the power head. I got to look at the diagram, see if it flows directly this way, in and out. And then maybe there's a major... I looked into the cylinder walls myself, and it's just... I don't know what to tell you, boys and girls. I am lost and frustrated, and it's a shame because I've been having a lot of fun. Just needed a win, and right now I'm 0 for... 0 for... Oh, God. Slump here. Big old Blackout Bill slump. We're going to have to do a part 3 and 4, I'm sorry. Because this is a lot of footage. Alright, I love you guys. I'll see what I put in the videos, what I don't, but know that, you know, it's frustrating. I'm trying not to get frustrated. Trying to have fun here. This would have been a fun test at Round Valley, so apologize if this was a little bit negative and frustrating video. I'll change that. I want to keep half this footage though, because I think it's good for you guys to see, you know. It's not all, hey, YouTube, welcome to the channel, do this, do that, boom, done, yay. It should be. That'd be nice. What a happy world we live in. Anyway, stay tuned. We'll see if I get any better. Nope. Not a chance.